back up on my bullshit. Spooky season, dude. Fuck out of here with that bullshit. Come on, man. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Beyond the Grave Media. Beyond the Grave Media, the Halloween watch list, 31 films for you to check out with a buddy, with a friend, with an enemy, with a compadre, with your fucking mom, whoever you want to watch these films with. I've been really struggling as far as like what I wanted to put on here, what I wanted to watch, because I feel like I'm such a mood guy that trying to pick 31 films is really fucking difficult. To the fact that it took me like 7 different times of rearranging this list, letting a week go by, rearranging it a few more times, like just fucking stressed out over it, because like I watch horror movies all the time. So when you try to think of which ones are going to sell October a certain way, sometimes you got to have some old favorites in there, the old reliable, right? Just things that make you feel good, things that you want to watch this time of year, things that just look better when the wind's blowing and it's raining. You got the deck lights on outside, thunder and lightning, God forbid, right? You could really set a mood with an October horror film. And then you got to have some ones that you're just in the mood for, some new stuff that's kind of came through that you just want to check out. And then you got some recommendations, something you've maybe always wanted to watch, but you always put it off. You got to have some classics in there. You got to have some universal monsters. You got to have an anthology or two. You got to have zombies. You got to have possessions. You got to have witchcraft. You got to have lots of witches, really. You got to have a little bit of fucking everything, body horror to fucking creature features. You got to really encompass a lot of fucking shit, man. You can't just put out 31 films and be like, these are the 31 films I want to fucking watch every single Halloween. No! This is not a spooky season watch list. This is what I want to watch this October. This is what I'm going to be watching, and you're going to get real sick of seeing me probably, because I'm going to hit you just about every damn day. If it's only for 5 minutes to go over every single film I'm about to go over here in the rest of this video. If you've missed me, if you've reached out, I appreciate you. I hear you. I've been talking to some people about it. I wanted to do just kind of like a social media, a YouTube unplug for the last week. It's actually been about 8 days. I've cleaned up my act. I haven't, I've been on a little bit of a diet. I've had no booze. I've had like really no social media for the most part. I did post at the Ducks one. I was pretty stoked to watch Oregon beat the fuck out of Penn State, and then somehow, anyway, we're not talking football. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of like, I don't know, maybe just kind of like clean my filter a little bit, my Intel processor up here that doesn't always work correctly, and just kind of like wipe the slate clean and be like, what am I actually in the mood to watch? Maybe if I take a little bit of a break, I can come back kind of refreshed. So I have seen The Long Walk. I have seen The Conjuring 4, right? Last Rites. I've seen some new films that I want to talk about. Maybe we'll get into that because there's a few days before October, but the way this is going to roll out is you're probably going to get just, sick of fucking seeing me, because I'm going to hit you with something new every single day. If you're here for it, you've been rocking with me for a while. This is my second October Halloween 31 watch list, whatever you want to call it. Call it anything, man. Call it anything that you want. Just don't call it a spooky season watch list on my channel, please. We're going to talk Halloween. There's going to be some people that are upset with this list. That's okay. This is not your list. This is just the list of the movies that I'm going to watch this year. I'm probably going to watch more like 85 to 90 films this year. So every year I struggle with alternates. I got a backup list. Maybe I'll kind of hit you guys with some of that in the middle of October. Maybe you've exhausted all the films on this and you just want some more recommendations. Well, I can hit you with those too. So thanks for being here, guys. Let's just fucking unfurl this fucking list. Let's get the fuck into it. Thanks for being here. If you're new, like, comment, subscribe. If you've been with me too, I appreciate you. You look fucking great, man. I'm proud of you out there. Cheers. Listen, man, I don't know how long I've been doing this in October. Probably at least 10 years since I've been with my wife. So we're talking maybe actually like 13 years. Every single October 1st, no matter what I'm doing, I put things down after I've already decorated the weekend before October, right? You got Sleepy Hollow, you got certain movies that you put on to make you feel like you're in the fall spirit. But when I am ready to start my October, my Halloween, October 1st horror movie watch-a-thon, I start no matter what with Pumpkinhead. Pumpkinhead is Halloween to me. It is one of my favorite creature features. It has so much pumpkin spirit. We're going to go over to this in more detail, and some of these movies that you might realize as you kind of go through here, I've already covered the shit out of them, and they're going to be on here again. So maybe you won't get new thoughts, maybe you'll get the same old stories, but if you're new here, we are going to go over some amazing films in the rest of this 31, and Pumpkinhead is one of those films. It is one of my favorite October Halloween horror films. This is a fall movie. The Witch is one of my favorite characters. The creature design, the Stan Winston directorial debut. Give it up, man. Show Pumpkinhead some love. This is a bad fucking film. The second horror film we're going to watch in October is one of my favorite horror movies of all time. It is probably my second favorite kind of like horror haunted house, horror like almost anthology with the wraparound. We are talking about 1981's Ghost Story. This right here is one hell of a fucking horror film. It is the last horror film, I believe, actually, that my father ever watched. Forbid me to see it. I would always rent it from the video store. Ghost Story has so much fun, dude. It's got some of the best, nastiest ghost effects, dude. When she's coming out of that coffin, when she's in the back of the car, when she comes out of the water, when she's in the snow, when she's just like in that bathtub. One of the craziest, hottest, most nastiest horror haunted house films. Ghost Story continues to freak me out. I continue to get more out of the Chowda Society. I think that Ghost Story, hands down, needs to be seen. It needs a 4K. It needs one of those nice, big, smelly second sight or Arrow 4K box sets. This thing fucking rips. It is just absolutely incredible. Be prepared. I'm gonna fucking rant about this movie real soon. It's one of the best performing videos on my channel. I have such a special place and love for 1981's Ghost Story. It needs to be on your Halloween watch list. Coming in at number 3, With a Bullet, the Lars von Trier film from 2009, we are talking about Antichrist. Now, when you hear that term, a lot of people are going to think that this is kind of like a religious film, or it's a this, or it's a that. This is an amazing film. That's all you really need to know. When you think about fall films, there's only a few that really come to mind that can completely set the mood. You got Halloween 4, right? Return of Michael Myers. You've got things like that. You've got Sleepy Hollow. You've got the Pumpkinheads. You've got The Witch, I would say. And then even recently, Let's Scare Jessica to Death needs to be on that list. But for me, for my money, when I think about fall, I think about the woods. I think the changing of the colors of the foliage, if you will. And there's nothing better than Antichrist from Lars von Trier. This thing is emotionally damaging. This film fucks with you. This film is just completely brutal in every way. It is psychologically thrilling. I can see how people might say that's not even a horror film, that's just a fucked up, disturbing film. And that's what's great about it. You have to really come to terms with some things very early in this film, and people are going to remember the mutilation, they're going to remember the sexuality, they're going to remember the domestic stuff that happens here, but really, this is an amazing film with a crazy message, with a little bit of folklore, a little bit of witchiness, a little bit of everything, man. And I just think that it's just tops of your Halloween watch list. This thing right here fucks in the best way. Prepare yourself. Coming at you from night number 4, we are talking about a franchise that just came out of nowhere. Found footage perfection for the first film and the fourth film. We're not going to talk about the other ones in the middle. They have different merits where they can be judged individually. But Hell House LLC, man, this is one hell of a horror film with one hell of a message that it's just the best of Halloween, where you actually go to a haunted attraction and everybody, for the most part, dies. Spoiler alert. If you haven't seen Hell House LLC, what the hell are you doing? Why are you watching this video? I guess that's what you're here to, right? To glean a little information so you can go out there and watch some new titles. Well, Hell House LLC, if you like found footage, if you're afraid of clowns, buddy, buckle up. This thing is a motherfucker. This is one hell of a great horror film. I still think part 4 might be better, but I think for my money, if you want to put on a found footage film that doesn't start with the Blair Witch or Cannibal Holocaust, you need Hell House LLC this season. For night number 5, we're slowing things down a little bit. Okay, we're going to focus on a family. We're going to really bond a little bit here on the channel. We're going to get together. We're going to light a fire. We're going to have some popcorn. Maybe we're going to have some pizza and a nice little Coca-Cola. And we're going to watch a PG horror film from the late 70s. We're talking about 1976, the masterpiece, the made-for-TV based on the book Burnt Offerings. This film right here is one of the best haunted house films in the genre. It just is. It just really is. And I can watch this film any day of the week. I have a huge appreciation for PG horror, especially from the late 60s, 70s, early 80s. There's something about those things, man, that they just hit just right for me. And we need to do a whole video where all we talk about is PG, like the best of PG. So be ready for that coming at you soon. But Burnt Offerings, man, it's got one of the best setups. It's got one of the freakiest ghosts. It has just this ability to kind of worm inside your head as you are the family, as you can see things change. You got Karen Black, you got Burgess Meredith, you've got the crazy woman upstairs, got a little bit of the Changeling to it, got a little bit of Poltergeist, a little Amityville Horror. It's got a little bit of fun. It is one of the best PG horror films out there, and I can watch this film and watch this dude lose his mind any day of the fucking week. Burnt Offerings rips. I don't know about you. I don't know where you're from. If you're from down that road, down there, I don't know. But in my part of the world, how I grew up, it was not October until you watched Stephen King's Immortal, one of the best adaptations from one of his films, from one of his books, 1989's Pet Sematary. Pet Sematary still, hands down, might be the scariest Stephen King film out there. If Zelda did not make you wet your nappies back when you were a little kid, man, I think you might want to take your pulse because you're probably dead. Pet Sematary is so fucking good. Pet Sematary is iconic. Pet Sematary, of course, has the Ramones classic, the soundtrack, the song. It's got the truck, it's got Gage, it's got Judd Crandall, it's got everything that you need to make your spooky Halloween, October 31, whatever the fuck you want to call it, watch list complete, man. I want to know everything about Timmy Baterman. I want to go down that road. I want to go to the old burial ground. I want to go to the burial ground. I want to dig things up. I want to spend a lot of time with his family. I think Pet Sematary is perfect. How do you follow up the greatest horror film of all time in William Friedkin's The Exorcist? Well, you don't put out The Heretic right a few years later, Exorcist 2. No, you wait a little bit. You wait a little bit and you let William Peter Blatty get involved, and you put out 1990's Immortal, one of the scariest exorcist films ever made. Also Jeffrey Dahmer's favorite film. Just come on over here, buddy. Have a seat. We're going to watch one of the greatest horror films ever. We are talking about The Exorcist 3. This film scares me on so many levels, really. I can talk about this film ad nauseum. I think this is a perfect film. I think every single character, from the cast, from the music, everything about this thing just works. It hits home every time I watch it, man. I'm afraid of old people for some reason, especially old ladies. And I watched this when I was a little kid, and that could have had something to do with it. When she's scooting around on the fucking ceiling up there, dude, that gets into my psyche so bad. I fucking love it to this day. When Father Karras is arguing with, oh my god, dude, it has so many fucking epic moments. Of course, the greatest jump scare of all time with the shears. If you don't make a little bit of time for at least one Exorcist film, shame on you. You need The Exorcist 3. How can you have a Halloween watch list without a Halloween film, you might ask? And listen, a lot of people are going to be mad that this film doesn't really have Michael Myers. We're coming at you on night 8 with Halloween Part 3 with one of my favorite covers in the Halloween business. We're talking about Halloween Season of the Witch, and really Michael Myers plays on the TV in the bar, so I guess that kind of counts, right? This film has Tom Adkins, so go fuck yourself. This is my favorite Halloween film, and then I love Halloween 2, and then I like some of the later installments. Do I love 78? Of course, everybody does. But for my money, there is something so much fun about Halloween 3. From the jingle, to the mask, to the kind of cult vibe, to the actual Santa Marina, wherever they are, that beautiful, beautiful oceanside, to Tom Atkins walking around just taking care of business. There is something so much fun, from the cockroach, all the bugs coming out of that chick's face, to it just works, man. It's a great October horror film, and if you can just remove yourself for a little bit and try to think of it as just a Halloween film, it's really just a lot of fun. I know people are coming around on it. I've always got a lot of shit for loving it. I'm not changing this year. Halloween 3, night number 8. For night number 9, we are talking about one of the scariest horror films of the last 10 years. A film that came about and just completely flattened me. I know a lot of people have started to shine on this film. A lot of people think that it's just a really effective, scary film from Brian Bertino, known mostly for doing The Strangers back in the day. The dark and the wicked is just that. dark and wicked. Nothing happens that's positive. I think the best part of this film, from a viewer standpoint, especially if you're just a casual fan that doesn't like horror, is the main character, Ireland, and her brother decide they're going to share a beer together. There might be like 2 smiles in the whole fucking film. The rest of the time, the dark and the wicked pummels you with supernatural just nastiness, okay? From everyone on the farm being infected, from the people to the animals, it just spreads. This film has some of the best imagery and some of the most foreboding, nasty, it just beats you over the head with, it's just bleak the whole time. Why am I trying to sum this up? If you haven't seen The Dark and the Wicked, you need to. I've talked about this a lot. We're going to talk more as the Halloween season gets here, but The Dark and the Wicked, it is one of the scariest, one of the best motherfucking horror movies I've seen in a long time, and it's got to be on your Halloween watch list. Check it out today. Speaking of John Carpenter, you know we have to have a John Carpenter film this October, and one of my favorites of all time is 1994's In the Mouth of Madness. This is so ahead of its time. I mean, it is a meta film that just plays off everything that's so great about John Carpenter. This is a scary, Lovecraftian mindfuck of a film, and I have watched this film in some compromising positions, in some compromising environments, and it continues to be just one of the best horror films of the 90s. It is slept on, but I think that is going to change hopefully this year when we get that nice big Arrow 4K that I just cannot wait to just devour and get myself into and give myself a lot of time to really get into the special features and just kind of relive In the Mouth of Madness. If you haven't taken a trip to Hobbs End, if you haven't gone on this ride with John Carpenter, this is one hell of a horror film, one of my favorite of all time. In the Mouth of Madness this Halloween. Coming at you with night number 11, we're talking about Frank Henenlotter's 1982. How would you really describe this film? I'm not entirely sure. Is this a creature feature? This is just a really good, a really fun horror film that I'm really actually pretty excited to revisit this Halloween. We're talking, of course, about Basket Case. Now, look, if you were going to pair up The Blob and The Stuff in Basket Case, you might have one of the best triple feature back-to-back of all time as far as creature features. I think if you just want to do a double feature, The Stuff and Basket Case are so fun. What's in the basket? Everybody wants to know, right? What is going on with Dude and his little brother? This is a fun-ass flick that I've only probably seen like maybe 4 times, and so I'm really excited to get into that Arrow 4K and just spend some time in the Basket Case world, go through gritty New York and just kind of relive some of the memories, man. I always have a good time when I do watch it, but for whatever reason, I've only seen it a few times, so put Basket Case on your list this season. Guys, friends, viewers of the channel, for whatever reason, night number 12, this particular spot in my list, I had switched around 4 or 5 different times with Black Sabbath, with Trick or Treat, with an anthology, trying to find kind of the right vibe, the right feel for night number 12, because that's like the middle of week 2, really. And so, you know, I was like, I don't really have a lot of witch movies on this list. What am I doing? I had to go back in time to The Autopsy of Jane Doe. This is an amazing film. You got Brian Cox, Emil Hirsch. It's just a great kind of like whodunit, almost psychological thriller that has really, really good kind of forensic horror to it, right? Where you try to figure out what exactly is going on. Just let the sun shine. And this is one hell of a good horror film. This is a spooky fucking movie, man. I got a long form video on this channel. I cannot wait to watch this film again. Every time I watch this film, the people in my house are like, man, this is a scary fucking movie. Why do we have to watch that one? Even though it's really, really interesting. It's got great music, great visuals. The Autopsy of Jane Doe just brings it every single time. I think it is absolutely incredible and must be on your, you gotta watch it. It's gotta be on the list. It really wouldn't be October either without including one of the best new directors really in the genre that's been going for a while. If you think about House of the Devil, right, you think about The Sacrament, you think about X, you think about Pearl, you think about Maxine, you have to put Ty West on your list. And for me, we're throwing The Innkeepers right in the hunk of this at number 13. The Innkeepers tells a really awesome little story, a kind of haunted house, haunted hotel, if you will, kind of supernatural, kind of meta, kind of found footage, kind of trying to figure it all out at the same time. And I fucking love this film. This is a really small scale horror film that does a lot with its runtime. I feel like it is kind of like a Ghost Hunters, Ghost Adventures, however you want to look at this. It just works from many, many levels. I think if you're not into haunted houses, yeah, maybe this isn't going to be for you. But for me, I think that I love everything that's going on in that room. I think that the actual ghost in here is worth writing home about. I think the effects are cool. I think it's awesome to kind of like react in real time. One of my favorites from Ty West. Oh, that's cool how that kind of shit rhymes, right? We're talking, of course, The Innkeepers this October. Night number 14, we are talking about a film from 2020 that completely just wrecks everything that you have going on in the moment. This is a Shudder original. Don't let that scare you. Shudder also put out The Dark and the Wicked, so don't get so wise there, guy. We're talking about a film from director Justin G. D-Y-C-K? Dick? I don't actually know how to say his last name, but this film brings the fucking pain. Trigger warnings all over this film, like literally. This is one of those kind of satanic panic, summoning, possession, a little bit of really, really mean, hostile imagery in this film. Anything for Jackson was a film that I never wanted to watch again after I watched it. There was something about what I was watching and just the way that it was set up. It felt like really mean-spirited and something that I just was like, man, I don't know about that film. What is going on here? Why do I gotta have to have these freaky old people and all this Satan stuff and just lots of trigger stuff that's really gonna upset a lot of people? Really, really good horror film though. If it can make me feel like that, anything for Jackson is just gonna demolish this Halloween. Closing out our part 1 of our Halloween 31 horror films to watch list, night number 15, with another bullet right to the head. We are talking about 2017's Terrified. Don't get it twisted, not Terrifier, Terrified, from Demian Rugna, who also put out the immortal, the instant classic When Evil Lurks. Terrified is one of those horror films that beats you to a pulp. This guy gets horror. This guy is exactly what horror fans needed in 2017. Just a complete breath of fresh air. When Evil Lurks is one of the best fucking horror films I've seen. Maybe I'm not going to say ever because that's a huge stretch, but it is completely amazing. It is punishing, and Terrified was his first film to really put him on my radar. This is a Spanish film. This might be one of the best foreign flicks ever. This film is part anthology, part police procedural drama, part wraparound, all fucking horror film. Terrified really just brings all the gore and a little bit more. It completely sets the table for horror fans. It gives you ghosts, it gives you things under the bed, it gives you people committing just heinous acts. It's got children, it's got all of these things, trigger warnings all over. It is a scary, scary fucking horror film. Can't wait to come back in a few days and give you part 2.